been a while since I've been on here. Live time. And if the internet doesn't work optimally, then it is what it is. We're getting it fixed. Somebody from Mediacom is coming Saturday to look after the internet, find the cog and fix the machine and, do what they need to do with that. So they're coming. You can think of in Harry Potter, the Deathly Hallows, they're coming. So not perfect, but it is what it is. So, you know, our internet is really, really unstable right now. So hopefully when they come, it'll be fixed properly. But nothing will stop me from doing what I normally do on this channel. I want to continue doing the videos. I want to continue doing everything on this channel. So I don't know if anybody's going to comment or do anything. I don't know if anybody's going to view this. I don't care. I'm just going to talk anyway. So, I only have 210 followers right now, subscribers to my channel. 270 followers over on TikTok, 117 followers over on Facebook, and around about 132 followers over on Instagram. So that is quite a bit of following, but not very much. That doesn't say a lot. So far, nobody's viewing this. Don't care. I'm going to talk anyway. I do not let the following get the better of what I want to do. Like, I do all of this for me and me alone. The whole world could be hating me, and I could still do it. I could still do it. Because it's what I want to do. It's what I want to do. And if it's something that I want to do, it's something that I look back and go, I like myself doing that, then I feel good about myself. Like I don't need the audience and I don't need the people watching to define my own sense of self-worth. I don't need everybody watching to make me feel feel free to comment. Make me feel like I am less than because I don't have enough of a following. So I want there to be as many followers as I can get. I'm not going to compromise the way that I do my content. I'm not going to compromise anything regarding that at all. Not at all. Because that is not me. Not me. That little number that I'm looking at right now, I see it going down. Significantly. And that's fine because that's kind of like, personally, when I look at that, I feel like, wow, did somebody click on here and like, oop, this person's a bad person, so this person's weird or whatever, so I'm clicking off. There will be people in the world who will have that opinion of me because this world is a wide world. Somebody thought I was a nerd. Somebody thought I was this. Somebody thought I was that. And then others are going to think, well, no, you're not. And you're a perfectly good person. You're perfectly worthy to share your opinions and share your mind and speak your truth and do all that. So that is what I will step into. I am doing really, really good. Thank you, Logan Hunter. Thank you for saying that about my eyelashes. Very, very difficult to say those eyelashes. What? I don't understand. Yeah, I really, really hope that I see comments throughout this live stream and not just often people just come in at the end and then just come in and then boom, they all leave. I'm not a Jew, I'm a Christian. Okay. Let's not make assumptions about people based off of looking at them. Like when you look at somebody, you don't just assume, oh, that person's lesbian. Oh, that person's gay. Oh, that person's this. Like, you don't make those assumptions. So, Hawks, don't make that assumption of me that I am a Jew. Because I am not a Jew. I don't practice the Judaism. I don't do Judaism. I don't do any of that stuff. That is not my religion. So I wouldn't go out. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Christian too. Yeah. I am also Christian. So, ideally, I mean, do I have to sit here and beg all of you to subscribe to my channel? Because what I want to see in my channel, ideally, I would like to see 1,000 subscribers as soon as I can get it. Because then when I get 1,000 subscribers, the following will not matter as much because I can't see the following on my front page of my channel. I actually have to go into my studio to see exactly how many subscribers that I have, and I say just an abbreviation. So I really, really want to. It's not a goal because I can't control the world, but I would like to reach 1,000 subscribers. I would like to reach that amount of subscribers, or around that amount of subscribers. And I hear these YouTube growth channels, and I'm probably gonna make a song about it sometime. These YouTube growth channels, which talk about grow your channel. Let's see what this person said. Jesus Christ loves you so much. On the cross for you. Yes. Yes, that is very, very, clear. I would question you this. I wonder what I follow somebody, call it Baron Reed. She does oracle cards, spirituality, has oracle school and has several books and oracle decks. I honestly wonder what her opinion of certain religions would be. Because, and you're going to find that I'm not looking at the camera because I can't, very, very difficult for me to do that. I'm seeing comments throughout, which is very, very nice. Hopefully I continue seeing them throughout this live stream. But, and I probably won't be able to respond to every one of them. So, just to say that, it's not like you have to follow these certain rules and do these things, otherwise you're not a worthy person. That's not what it is. It is where you are, where, as you said, um, you know, killing, uh, Corinne, something like that. I don't know. As you said, um, you know, Jesus loves you. Whatever your religion or whatever your God is, loves you for who you are. You don't have to, follow certain. There are certain things, to be of that religion, but if you do certain things that you're not unworthy of being in that religion. So, anyway. Before I even get into my main points that I want to make today on this live stream, I'll probably come on more often just to talk about the astrology, just apart from my podcast episode, apart from the normal astrology that I do, and apart from the clips that come out on my channel. I don't know if I'll be making clips out of these live streams, but I have a lot of videos, and there'll be a lot of videos that will be added to this because I've only made one video today, but I published a lot of videos because I'm going through and I'm publishing the old videos. Excuse me, the videos from my okay. I'm seeing all these comments about the same. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have the whole thing about, Jesus Christ established. So, all right. Now, I'm currently publishing videos from my hello. I am from well, I was born in New Jersey, but I'm from uh um I am from uh this is what happens when you're on live streams. You're on the spot. I live in Indianola, Iowa. Des Moines is very, very close to my hometown. I was born in New Jersey, though. So anyway, I kind of share some details on that on one of my Real Me podcast episodes. None of us are worthy, but Jesus died so that we can be made new. As Christians, we sin and break His commandments. But we go to Him in forgiveness, for He is merciful. Well, that is true. That is true, most definitely. Okay. Mm. You know, I can tell this is going to be long. This is going to be long and drawn out. So, let me see here. Top fans. Let me see. If there would be people who'd respond anything negative, I honestly do not know how to block anyone. Because I feel like I have to be a chaperone on live streams. Like, I was on TikTok live streaming, and there were a couple comments that were really, really disgusting comments. Nasty comments. And I don't want that to show up here. There were several steps to sign up for getting the TikTok live going. But anyway, you know, just comments like WTF and bro. I don't talk like that. I don't that's not my language that I use in conversations. I don't really like to see WTF abbreviated, and I don't like to see bro put out to me because I don't like it when people call me that and write that, and I didn't appreciate it. So you won't find me using that in normal conversation and language. So, all right. So, oh. Hopefully, you're not leaving me because of what I just said. I was just being honest and truthful, saying, I don't like that. So, okay. Without a question mark. So, um, what's my beliefs? Well, I have a lot of beliefs, and I share those beliefs very, very truly and authentically in my astrology videos, and in my Real Me podcast, you'll find those beliefs coming through in nooks and crannies. I don't just share out all my beliefs right here and now. I share them in nooks and crannies as I go through my videos. So, publishing the older videos on my channel, I've noticed that the new ones, the ones I posted don't get many videos. I hope it's not because I'm posting too much, because I do post quite a bit. But I cannot control the world, and you cannot expect to control the world, and I'm not somebody who's going to cater to viewers and do it in a way where they would like it. I'm going to do it in a way where I would like my content to be. And so anyway, that's just what I want to address right here and now. And these growth channels that say, oh, well, title your things differently, or start with an attention grabber in your video, or tell a personal story, like, too specific and not what I'm going to be doing, because that goes against what I want to do. So hopefully I see the comments going through this live stream. So anyway, and maybe I hope that through these live streams, I notice that these live streams tend to get a lot of views. And ideally, I would like to see the subscriber number go up along with the views on videos, not just you're viewing the video. And not everybody will subscribe, but you know, yeah. So anyway, we are in Taurus season right now. Okay. Well, thank you for reminding me about that. Looking at myself in the mirror today, okay. I don't like it when people tell me what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. You should sounds very, very dictatorial. Sawyer. Should sound, should it, like, I do not write in comments on videos and tell people what they should be doing and tell people what they're not doing right, because that's, I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that's your place to make those kind of comments, like, say, you should do this, like that is my, area, and something that I do on a normal basis, and that's something that I do on my own without the outside world telling me. And there are going to be comments like that, but I'm not going to get it from this live stream and just do whatever the person's saying. So if you intend for me to do something differently, I may very well not do things differently. So I just want to know what your intention is behind writing that. Because yeah. So I totally understand where you're coming from, though. It is an honest comment to make, and as the viewer watching, I could definitely see how that could play in. But I'm not gonna just casually say, like, "Thank you for reminding me. I'll do that." Like, no, I won't do that. Um, you know, I want to get into the astrology that I want to discuss, but um, I hope that when I come on live streams, I don't sacrifice my own personal sense of value just because of the comments that I'm seeing. Because I make this statement very, very clear in several videos that, and I don't need to really repeat it too much here because I've emphasized it, before, but don't post for people placing in God, please. Yes, I don't Okay, okay, why am I attracting all these people who are calling me bro on this live stream? Why am I attracting all of these supposedly young males around well, I am one, but um I've gotten comments from people that are very different from this. I've gotten comments, from people on my videos that are very, very, that are more aligned with who I am. I don't, I can't, there is no way, like Mr. Beast, if you follow Mr. Beast, I have some, videos I did about him if you want to check those out in my Cosmic Sky podcast. On his channel banner, he says, subscribe for a cookie. There is no way that I can give you $30. I can't send you, I can't go on my dresser and send you $30 directly to. Like, what are you talking about? $30. That's so funny. I just have to laugh. Are you, for real asking me for $30? um, when I come on these live streams, I just never know what kind of comments I'm going to be getting. Okay. What? You're not straight. My bad. Okay, what do you mean by you're not straight? I have zero idea what you're talking about. Please, oh my gosh. Well, if you're talking about my sexual orientation, which I don't need to reveal because I'm not in that arena. But I hope that that's not what you're referring to. I have zero idea what you're referring to in the context of what you're talking about. So anyway, let me just scroll back. So my South Node in Scorpio, going back into the belief, going back into the South Node. I used to do some pretty risky things, which I do not want to get into here. But I really, really feel drained when I think about doing what I used to be doing because it's like, oh no, I don't want to feed that pattern again. I do not want to, it's like, let the bear sleep and let the old die away. Don't try to bring up the old stuff. Like a dead horse is dead. Like, don't beat a dead horse. And don't go back and reinforce the things that you didn't like in the past that were bad, that you were not a fan of, that were against your values that you're bringing up again. And, in the now, like that is not that is not in my chart as my life direction. So you said no. Yes, I did. Because um I I hear a certain voice in my head when I say comets. It's very interesting. It's this male voice that's like associating like a stereotype of like comments to people in their 20s or teens or whatever, males. And then sometimes I hear another voice entirely, which is a more feminine voice. And the thing about that male voice in my head, as I mentioned on my Real Me podcast, that it kind of lacks compassion sometimes. It kind of is kind of harsh and very, against you at times. And that's kind of, what I feel very, very strongly. But yes, I did say that. So, without further ado, well, let me finally get into my points that I want to make. This has been a long enough intro to begin with. Okay, Taurus season. Why am I even on here anyway? Well, this is what I want to talk about. I don't just, I may come on here to just hang out with you and talk to you. And I don't want to beg you to do this, but if you like me and who I am and what I do, I really, really would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. And I would really appreciate that, the amping up of the following on here. Anyway, that's enough about that. So Taurus season, this season that we're in is a kind of a sigh of relief because all of Aries season that we've had. Okay. So let me I'm a little bit nervous about this comment. Let me see what it says. So you are straight or no, I ain't gonna judge. You don't have the night to the I don't have the right to judge anyone. Well, yes. Yeah. Just those you don't know. Like I wouldn't go up to a given stranger and tell them, they need to shave or they need to do that. I easily could, but I don't want to do that. So, well, okay. Now, this season is a bit of a break from Aries season. In Aries season, we had all those planets in that sign, that fiery sign, which is very, very physical. Like Aries is a sign that's very, very much about the physical body. And it's about movement in the body. I mean, I am an Aries, but I'm not a physical Aries. I'm an intellectual Aries. So it is about physicality, movement. And Aries has a lot of energy to it. It's a very, very strong masculine energy, which says, I have this drive, and darn it, I'm going to do it. Aries is a sign which comes in with a lot of chi, a lot of, I want to throw a word out there that an astrologer used, my very, very first astrologer that I followed, Juju. Like Aries is a lot, like Aries is alive and kicking. Um, and I'm alive and kicking, but in intellectual ways. I'm alive and kicking to do the things that are largely intellectual. Such as I'm falling away from my face here. So I'm here to do the things that are largely intellectual. Speaking, writing, doing videos, reading anything because my Mars is in Gemini, so Mars rules Aries. So Mars is drive and ambition and action, and how you, what kind of moves you want to make in the world. So Aries is a physical. It can be well. The energy itself is not that, but it can lend itself to being physical. It has a lot of it's a very, very dynamic energy. And we've had, 8 planets in Aries. I've spoke about this on the New Moon and Aries videos, and I did those videos back April 9th and 10th. And if you want to review your horoscopes for all 12 signs, then you can go look at that video. But okay. So I'm seeing the views die down. I hope that people are not just hopping off because they're just disinterested at this point. But if they are, then it's out of my control, completely out of my control. So, alrighty. So, like I can do videos super easily, but when it comes to doing live streams, it does take an extra step for me to put myself out there. It does take that extra, leap. And it is hard to put yourself out there. but when you do, you'll become easier. It will become easier, and you will be more confident. And well, I have my Aries Sun energy and my Gemini energy to help me to be more extrovert. Like I have a lot of, like I'm kind of introverted yet extroverted at the same time. I'm doing this at my home, so I'm very, very extroverted at my home, which is the fourth house. So that's why I'm coming across, really, really authentic to you here. But okay. So um so we've had a lot of that energy. We've had the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, Eris, and Aries. Mercury in Aries is making us. Mercury is in Aries right now. And Mercury in Aries is making us really, really very direct with our words, very, very sharp with our words. Like what we say has a sharp tone of it. Like, well, we want to be like what we're saying is a race. Like we want to be confident in our words and in our expression, and we want to be assertive and first. There's this need to with Aries energy, you can kind of shred others to pieces. Mercury and Aries shredding others to pieces with thinking that your ideas are superior to others, and you have this Aryan confidence that could really intimidate um, anyone really, because you just have this quality. So it makes us a lot more. It has a tendency to be more impulsive, but also more direct with our communication. That's Mercury and Aries. There's so much to get into here. The other thing is, okay, so we've had all these planets in Aries. We've had Mars in Aries, which has been activating us, giving us a boost of energy, like the desire to go and make things happen. Saturn in Aries is grounding our dreams into reality and making us have a healthy sense of, okay, this is what I want to achieve, and these are my long-term goals that are true and authentic to me. That's what Saturn in Aries is ultimately about, is authentic goals that are true for you. Um, Long-term goals, and all of this. And Saturn in Aries can be very, very much about pushing your way through to something courageously and getting past any judgment or criticism that others have for you, and slowing down and really, really stepping into the reality of actually making your dreams happen. Like, Saturn goes slowly, Aries goes very, very quickly. So what you want to do is ground the Saturn and Aries energy um, to help it to be more steady and long lasting. What do you have to ask me? Um, Magula. Um, Sorry, it's very, very difficult to see these names. Asking me these really, really big philosophical questions. That's a deep question. Um, in Tom, I, I, I have no idea. Um, well, I guess a huge definition of life is really living. I'm not going to overthink this at all. Living according to your values, living a life of peace and tranquility, being true to who you are. It's really what it is. And I think that my approach to astrology and my approach to videos and everything like that um is kind of veering on the evolutionary side of things. Like if I were to become an astrologer, I would be an evolutionary astrologer, most likely, probably. Um, and there's also an approach to it, like I express how certain placements can be their true selves, the best versions, the more self-aware versions of themselves, the most authentic version of themselves, how you can grow through the transits that I talk about. That's really my approach to astrology. And but more okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I figured out what you were saying. My name is Tom. Okay, Tom. It's just I'm seeing the I see the the handle, and I actually would change my handle back to what it normally is, but well, that isn't an option because you can only change it after 14 days, and I went into the YouTube app and changed it. If I can change it back to my regular channel name, I probably would, but anyway, it's as close as I can get, so it is what it is. But believe me, if I could change it back to the normal name, I would. Maybe sometime YouTube will allow me to do that. I don't know. Okay, really engaged with me here. If your values and goals are being rejected by life, what's the point to continue living? Well, I don't know. In my life, those values are not rejected. It's like when you cared so much about what others think of you, then you're living from the outside in. You're allowing the judgments of others to take you away from the life that you want to live for yourself. The life that is true for you and what you want to do and what you value and all this. So it takes away from what you really want to do. I mean, it doesn't, but it kind of really, you can't, live that way where you are so concerned with everybody's judgments and living a life, when others just say, you have a dream that you're living out, and somebody says, that you're not worthy of this dream, or you can't handle the world, or you can't achieve this, or you're not this enough, or you're not that enough, then it really creates this feeling bad about yourself. And it really creates this kind of block within yourself to sort of see the gems of what you have to give, and you're not tapping into that. And when you can, say, what? I'm just allowing the judgments to be what they are, and I am choosing to be calm, be peaceful, be centered, and live in my power. Okay, valid point. So, yeah. Uh, you know, so, all right. So, we've had Saturn and Aries, as I said, Neptune and Aries, which is really, oh my goodness gracious, Neptune and Aries. Let me think. Neptune and Aries. War. I mean, the war is going on in the world right now is just horrendous. I mean, the war between Russia and Ukraine right now, the war that I think that a lot of us have a lot of choice words to say about the president of the United States right now and his behavior. But just to say that he put us into a war that we didn't need to go into. It's kind of like in Vietnam when we just entered ourselves into a war in another country with, all this technology that we were intimidated by, and we like that was back in 1968 or something like that. Well, like, we should have learned the lesson not to just, like, we're not a war-threatening nation. We don't, as American citizens, we do not just throw ourselves, just launch yourself into war just um uh just without any reasoning to, except we want to attack. We're not a nation. We're a diplomatic nation. We don't go out and attack other nations. We're not Japan or Germany or whatever. So, I just think that with like apparently, oh my goodness, this is 2026. This should be happening in what, 1946. Like surely we've evolved as America to this point, but apparently we haven't. So, the president kind of launched us into war, so that war is going on. So the negative manifestation. So what about God? They say God. You're very, very concerned about this, aren't you? Sent Jesus to earth to look after his children. So why are so many people struggling in life? Do not take it from me, Tom. I did happen to come across a video, which I have not seen yet, but I've come across a video by Teal Swan called There's No Such Thing as Deserving, although it's a little bit extreme to say that. I think that, there's some truth in that, but, it's both and. There may, I think that, that video may answer that question very, very easily for you if you would go and see that video by Teal Swan. I think that Teal Swan is in my spirituality channels on the homepage of this channel. You can go check her out. She really, really delivers a lot of very, very truthful, not sugar-coated, authentic and very, very scorpionic aspects where she looks at the shadow and integration and all that. So that's what she's all about. So anyway, the negative manifestation of Neptune Aries is war. War. And so throwing ourselves into war, that we, that, just being very, very unconscious of. And the downside of Neptune and Aries is not very self-aware. Not it. The low road is we're not self-aware. We don't know why we do what we do. We don't know how it impacts others, and we're not aware. Well, like that is the low road of Neptune Aries, because Neptune is what you're not seeing, it's your unconscious. And so aggression, impulsivity, anger, war, all those things. But at the high road, it can be, everybody wake up, stand up and be an activist and fight for these spiritual principles and be very, very strong in these spiritual principles and fight for what is right, when it comes to just these spiritual dreams, these spiritual ideals that you're fighting for. And that's a huge part of it. So we do have that Chiron and Aries looking at the wounds that we have. Our wounds in regards to our identity, where we don't feel it's safe to be ourselves authentically. And since 2018, we've been working through that. And Chiron is going to enter Taurus June 19th. So I'm going to be doing a whole video, a couple of videos on that when we get to June, looking at the themes of Chiron in Taurus and looking at what that is really all about. So I really, really want to do some videos on that when we get to it. But so those are the planets in Aries. In Eris, which is the street fighter of discord in Greek myth, she was not invited to a party, so she was furious about that, rebelled, and she is, the street fighter, very, very rebellious, very, very feisty, and very, wanting her way and wanting, freedom and wanting to prove herself, wanting to be right, wanting to be the best. And so Eris is in Aries right now, which is pretty. I think this one of the strongest placements that you can get for Eris to be in, the door planet Eris. So anyway, Taurus season's coming in, helping to ground us. Okay. Um. Okay. After this, I'm going to be taking a big break from this. I mean, they say he hears all our prayers and see our struggles in life, but for some reason, homeless people pray more than you, and their prayers are the loudest, but they are still unheard. Hmm. Um. So I really do not have anything to say in response to that, honestly. But so anyway, Taurus season's coming in, helping to ground us. Okay, why am I not seeing any other viewers on this live stream? Why have all the other viewers gone away? um, I don't understand. I just see it increase, and it just decreases. So it's just, I guess, yes, I believe in that. Yes. Okay, well, I guess I'm just directly talking to you and not anybody else. So I'll just talk to you and share to you what's going on. Um, you know, what's going on, because you seem to be. I don't know if you're the only one viewing this, but if you're the only one commenting right now. So anyway, um, Taurus season's coming in. Taurus is all about enjoying all that you have to look at the five senses. What you have to, what you see, what you hear, like looking at the beautiful sun that shines, looking at the flowers. Like, I know that May in the northern hemisphere, like the flowers are coming out and all that. Like looking at all the sensual things with the flowers, and um flowers, and all the trees and all these kind of things of nature. Like Taurus rules nature, and it rules all these sensual things. Um, and so this stabilizes us. Like, now we can relax. Like, I would ask you to consider during this whole season, from April 20th through May 20th, to really, really consider, like, slow down, be present, be still, but focus on the right here moment. What can you do in the here and now? Like, we don't have the past, we don't have the future. We have here and now to act. And we cannot expect ourselves to have our whole life planned out, or be so hyper focused on the future. Like, we have to come back to the now. We have to ground into what is going on now. um that is true. um Here's what I'm going to say to all of these comments. I am not talking about that in this live stream. I am talking about the astrology of right now. So that's what I want to say in this live stream. So, okay. So, I expect that a lot of people will be viewing this after the fact. So, all right. slowing down. This is going to be, uh, hmm. Yeah, I just feel like I've just been indoors so much. But anyway. Um, like we have the now, we do not have the past or the future. So let's ground into the now. Let's focus on what we can. Like Taurus is the present moment. Taurus is, like Aries is like, I want to, have all this ambition. I want to do all these things and be so ambitious. But Taurus is like, let's slow down. Let's be steady about this. Let's be, let's, really, really be thoughtful about this. Let's be deliberate about our actions and what we are doing. So, Taurus season is helping us to ground and to become more involved with our senses and to stabilize all this, fast moving, ambitious Aries energy. What we also have going on is I know that I think that the astrologer that I follow, Adam Ellenbus, has a video on his podcast, the Nightlight Astrology podcast, which if you follow me, I think that you'll really, really like. If you like what I have to say and what I do, I really, really recommend his work because he's very, very deep. And there's quite a bit of insights with his astrology also. So, you know, um, there is, I think that you'll enjoy those videos. But anyway, this Venus, before Venus leaves Taurus, Taurus right now is at the anaretic degree of Uranus is at the anaretic degree of Taurus. So since 2018, it's been shaking up our values and how we define security and stability, how we are connected to our bodies, how we are connected to the earth. Like Uranus has been shaking all this up. Venus Uranus conjunction is looking at um what aspects of our relationships and are like asking ourselves, is the relationship that we are in aligned with our personal values? Is the relationship really right for us? Correct for us? Is the relationship serving us? Is that relationship feel stable to us? Or what do we need to be open to change to make the relationship work? So Taurus at worst can stay stuck in a given relationship for way past the expiration date, way too long, and not get out of it because they just want the security and stability of it. Like they hold on to things till the bitter end because they can't. Taurus does not like change. It doesn't like to change things up. It doesn't like to move things around easily. It likes its comfort. Like, Taurus is like a dog with a bone. How you're listening to your music or eating a certain dish or whatever. And it's like, no, I don't want to move. I don't want to change. I want to stay in my comfortable place. And so um, I am allowed to lean into that this lifetime because my North Node's there and my Mercury is there. So, I'm leaning into common stability and I absolutely love my North Node placement. I think it's one of my favorite placements in my whole entire chart. And in the fifth house, you can throw that in to how it's very, very, creative. So, so, um, asking yourself what in your relationship needs to be changed and shaken up so that it's more aligned with your values. Okay. Have you ever sat down and questioned your existence? I mean, bad things happen in life where a human breaks but still finds a way up. But there is always there will always be that point where everything you do fails. Pretty pessimistic. I don't think that that is true, Tom. I don't think that I think you can look at millennials and how they were failed. Kind of like no, not failed, but I kind of want to do, maybe I'll do a podcast on Generation X or Generation Y, Generation Z sometime because I really want to delve into that. But um, how millennials were raised in these kind of ways where they were taught to be a shark and be had to have all these expectations, and they were others rejected them for putting themselves out there, and however hard they tried, they failed. But I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that is accurate to say that that what you do fails. I would ask you, what situation are you in, and can you get out of that situation and put yourself in a situation where it's more successful, it's more prosperous, you feel better, you feel happier, you feel like, oh wow, my life is going in a more positive direction now. So that's what I would ask you with that. So, do you know why I asked if you could borrow me $30? Well, it's because my dad is in the ICU, and I feel hopeless because the operation money cost a lot, where thus my job pays less. So I'm just asking for help. You know, sometimes lowering your pride turns out to be helpful in life. So anything goes as long as you can help him. I hope that you're not saying that I'm. Okay, this is. You know what this is reminding me of? I used to do pretend games. Um, when I was little, when I used to um pretend to talk to these certain people and get into these kind of arguments and feel these kind of emotions and feel drained or whatever. And like it would really, really be like I would feel myself like, okay, I'm going back into Scorpio. I'm going back into, allowing others to overpower me. And I am very, very aware of myself. I don't think that I am being overly prideful or proud. And I'm not going like I wouldn't like I cannot predict who watches these things. Like I don't know who watches these things. You know, I'm not in your situation. I am not in your shoes. I'm not okay. I'm I'm not in your situation. I don't know that, so I'm not being overly prideful. I'm just speaking my own truth of what I came on here to say on this live stream. Now, with going with what you said earlier, um, to just kind of tell you kind of a personal thing. My grandpa, um, he was in the hospital 2024, the fall, and he passed away because of the same issue that I had. the same health issue that I had with my colon and my bowels, basically. Had several things, couldn't eat and drink for a while, was put in the ICU. Surgery went wrong. The doctor said, "Oh, you can eat all this fiber and all that." So he had all this fiber, and you can't have that. Had to, like I'm on a low FODMAP diet right now because I was, in the hospital because I had an infection and all that. So, but he there was there, and he did pass away, and I totally understand what you're going through, and I totally understand what you're feeling. Um, but I cannot physically give you money. But what I can say is that I am very, very, I can be as sympathetic as I can be towards that, of what you're going through. That must be very, very tough to, um, um, have your dad there. Makes me think of, well, there's a saying, you don't know, what you have until you don't have it. The relationship that I have with my dad is a very, very detached, kind of cut off relationship where we're not very, very close. But, if he was in the ICU, then that would be very, very tough for me to have to go through that. It's very, very stressful. Very, very stressful. Yeah. Very, very sorry for you going through that. Anyway, so okay, so Venus in Uranus in Gemini. Focusing on values, focusing on choosing better values for yourself. Then Venus is going to quickly enter Gemini, and that's going to be big. And I already did videos about that. And if you are interested, just for something to watch and listen to, then I do have videos on Uranus and Gemini on my podcast, which I talk about. Okay, so about pride, I'm talking about myself, and I'm so sorry about your loss. Don't force yourself. You already said you can't. At least you were honest, and don't worry, but I'll figure something out. Okay, I see where you're coming from with this. Um, yeah. Um, it would be really, really nice if I could see you and talk to you, look at you and hear you. Then it would be like I'm seeing, a real person talking to me as opposed to somebody typing in the chat. Doing all that, So it can be kind of hard. Okay. It can be hard for me to take comments seriously when I see them written out as opposed to when somebody is actually talking to me. Like, that is what I really feel about comments. Nonetheless, nonetheless. Uranus and Gemini. Basically, shaking up how you communicate, shaking up how you view the world. Like how you view the world from now until May of 2033 will be probably drastically and radically different than um how you're viewing it now, because Uranus asks you to change and transform. Uranus asks you to evolve and change the way that you look at your life, how you look at all these things. And then in that video on the collective, I did talk about the inventions that go on with Uranus and Gemini, um, talking about um, some of the inventions that might come out, like the driverless car, certain technologies when it comes to the phone and the computer. Like, I go into all of that. Um, so, but really on the personal level, the way that you get around, the way that you learn about things, and the subject matters that you learn about may very well change. And you discovering, like, becoming more curious, like becoming more open-minded, becoming more, um, communicative, and being willing to actually communicate, your truth, and choosing communicate. Okay, becoming more open-minded to learn about different things, choosing your truth of what you is true for you in terms of what you want to learn about, and being curious to that. And if you've been holding yourself back when it comes to communication, it's time where you can actually, like, put your ideas out there. Uranus is you being your individual self for the community, for the collective. So when you put your ideas out there, it really, really helps others to see, what, like, okay, this person's being brave and being courageous and being assertive, putting their ideas out there. And I'm going to do the same because I feel empowered to do just that. So I am very easily, okay. True comments can deceive. I only wish I was lying, but I'm not. I believe you. I believe you on that. So, all right. So, this is getting very, very intimate. But so I just want to get through just kind of the rest of the information that I wanted to cover. So changing up the way that you think and the way that you view the world is what Uranus and Gemini is about. And then also, finally, the full moon in Scorpio, which I will be doing videos on tomorrow. I'll do the collective video tomorrow and the 12 signs tomorrow. That will be about, looking at the two energies between these two signs, Taurus and Scorpio. Like, Taurus is comfort and stability and security and all things, stable, and, and it's all about the sensual pleasures and all about what you do in the moment to help you ground. Scorpio is risk. It's moving into the uncomfortable. So with this Scorpio full moon, like, what do you need to release? What needs releasing that you're holding on to, that you have to just let go of. Well, not have to, but you're being invited to let go of this thing. It's coming up, I think April 30th, May 1st, where you're invited to let go of this thing that you're holding on to that is keeping you from your security and your stability. Keeping you from just feeling peace within yourself. Because that's what ultimately Taurus is about. Is that feeling of peace within yourself. Um, and so, all right. So, okay. So, Uranus in, excuse me, the full moon in Scorpio, um, really is going to be bringing up a lot of shadowy content, a lot of shadowy materials of what you're not looking at, of what's under the surface, of what you need to look at and bring up to be able to heal. Like, you have to, in order to heal something, there has to be shadow work. There has to be um some shadow work done with this. um where you have to look at it and acknowledge it and integrate it. You can't just deny and disown and expect to heal it. Like in order to do it, you have to face what you're afraid to face and move through those shadows. And Scorpio demands like looking at the tough, uncomfortable things in order for you to feel more peace, more tranquility, and have a greater sense of self-worth. So that's what it all comes down to. And full moons bring up what you need to release, and so the Scorpio full moon is going to bring that up, and I'm going to go more in depth about that. Uh, my name is Everett Carty. It has it on my channel name. But anyway, it asks you to release things that need releasing. That that you're refusing to release. That you're refusing to look at. Like full moons illuminate what is in the shadows. And Scorpio, this full moon in Scorpio is pretty potent. Another fact about the moon in Scorpio is considered fall because the moon is exalted in Taurus, and so with the moon in Scorpio, it is a very, very deep placement. With the moon is like feeling nurtured and feeling secure emotionally. With Scorpio is a sign that's so much about feeling in the chaos and feeling in the turmoil and the crisis and the being hurt and the being just so insecure about yourself that you don't feel secure emotionally, and so it's about healing that. Like Moon and Scorpio people are here to do a lot of shadow work on themselves, especially if you have the progressed moon in that sign. So that's just a little preview for the progressed moon in Scorpio. I do want to come on and do more astrology live streams with astrology updates, talking about things that I don't talk about in podcast episodes. I am this channel is a very, very busy channel in terms of posting. I am incredibly avid when it comes to posting content. I've just posted a lot today because I've tried to upload past videos. But anyway, that's all that I have to say, literally all that I have to say on this live stream. Okay. Um, I'm an Aries sun at 16 degrees. In the fourth house of home, family, and so if you're interested in checking out, I do want to do a video on the Sun in Aries, a podcast on the Sun in Aries sometime. Um, and also the Sun in the fourth house. I also have a podcast on that I did. So anyway, that's all that I have in this live stream. Thank you so much, Tom, and everybody really for watching and tuning into this. I will get off now. My inner authority is screaming, take a break, do something different. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to, maybe I'll get outside, get some fresh air, do something different from what I've been doing all day long. And yeah, so that is all that I have to say. And bye for now. That's your Taurus season astrology update. Anyway, hope this live stream saves, and bye for now.